Now, the biggest firms in the world are shedding the accountants because of it. Lawyers, the next profession that's going to be affected. In the US, the top 10 firms got rid of 70% of their staff last year. Top 10 firms in the US got rid of 70% of their staff because they installed one computer program called Watson. And Watson does what all those lawyers were meant to before. Doctors are going to be out of the job also. Right? In the US, there are 14 million people involved in the transport industry. 12 million people, 12 million of those 14 million are drivers. Already Scania has got driverless trucks. 2 of the big companies in the US are already trialing driverless trucks for delivery. DHL is already trialing a driverless truck. And soon, 12 million people in the US will be replaced. Can you imagine that? Call center operators. Farmers are going to be out of a job also. Do you know why farmers are going to be out of a job? I'll tell you about that yesterday. How much time do we have?
15 minutes.
Look around your home and you'll see the 4th Industrial Revolution already taking place in your home. You have a smart meter that's been installed in your home. It will tell you how much of electricity you have, when you need to load the electricity you have that at home, right? How much of water you're using. Now those same meters, we have smart meters installed in a number of homes around the country, and we can tell those homeowners exactly when the highest usage peak takes place. We can analyze for them and tell them what's their peak periods, how much of electricity they are using, what is the item that's using the most electricity. And I'm not even at those homes. The smart meters that we have installed into those homes, we have a little computer, tells us all that information. There's some guy up in Cape Town who's got a house, installed one of our smart meters, sitting here in Durban. I can phone him up and tell him your electricity is running low. Imagine that. Without him even calling me to find out. We can switch on lights in a house from our cell phones. Seen that? Everybody seen that?
Yeah.
Switch on a light in your house. I can switch it on and off without you even being there through my cell phone. I can switch on your aircon.
Yeah.
I can open your garage door. I can open your driveway without you even being there. Imagine. So in farming, we've already started implementing these things on a couple of farms here in KZN. We've attached devices to, so a farmer, if you think about it, a farmer normally in his farm, if he's farming maize, needs to go out onto his farm regularly and see how the soil condition is, what the wind condition is, what the weather condition is, when's the right time to plow his maize. He has to go there physically and do it. We've implemented a system, one farm already, where the farmer's sitting every day in his air-conditioned office. He doesn't have to go out into the fields anymore and toil. He has a drone that goes out. Drone flies over the fields, checks all the crop that's there. We have sensors in the ground that tell us how much of moisture is in the soil. We have sensors that are located at the same level as the wheat stalks, which tell us what the wind is, what the moisture in the air is, what the moisture content is. We can then decide whether we want to water that maize, whether it requires more water, does it require more water. Previously, the farmer used to have a timer on his hose. Every day at 8 o'clock in the morning, he waters the wheat, whether the wheat required it or not, which meant that water was wasted and the wheat became soggy. Now we can determine whether it really requires the water or not. And even at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, if we require the water, we can turn the water on without the farmer having to step out. We can track cows. We have GPS devices on cows. So we can tell whether the cow is standing, whether the cow is sitting, whether it ate, what the temperature of the cow is, and where exactly that cow is. So if you decide to steal one of my cows, I'll find you. In the retail stores, if you go into Woolies.
Time you say we are doing it, so is your company involved in these things?
Yeah.
Is it?
We've already started implementing it. These are trials. We have to trial them for a couple of years. Once it's done, we've seen this technology already in Russia. They already started using it. The Russian government is using it on a number of state farms in Russia already. In the retail environment, when you go into Woolies today, or into Pick and Pay, you'll see little tags. Observe it. Pick and Pay has now got tags on every item, which will tell you the price. And the LED tags, no longer little price tags. They can alter the price of the item remotely. So if they need to respond to a competitor, they don't need to go and print the pricing out or anything. They can just change the price. In all the stores, automatically the price of Mari biscuit is changed that day, and they can respond to checkers having brought down the Mari biscuit. Question you want to ask? They can even get the fridge telling them whether the temperature of the milk is at the correct temperature or the milk is been off. The most exciting part of all of this here is blockchain. Everyone heard of Bitcoin, right? Who's bought Bitcoins? Who's traded in Bitcoin? Who's been wanting to trade in Bitcoins? Whose friends have been trading in Bitcoins? Last year, December, they bought a Bitcoin, right? Alright, so the most famous blockchain technology is Bitcoin. Everybody's heard of Bitcoin. But blockchain is the technology behind Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the product. Blockchain is the technology behind it. And blockchain technology is revolutionizing every bit of interaction in the financial system, in the legal system, every system that you can think of. So what blockchain is doing is there is the ability for people in different parts of the world to check the same information, put it together, and verify that information. So you can now design a legal commercial contract which would take a law firm 3 to 4 weeks, a couple of thousand rands for them to give you that contract. By using blockchain, some guy sitting in India can generate it using South African law with case studies and give it to you in 15 minutes. You don't even have to pay an arm and a leg for it. You can do it from your office. Law firms are starting to do that today. So blockchain is going to be the revolution that's going to change a number of things. And that's it. So if you want to ask me any questions, we've got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Questions? Any questions? I'll skim through the whole thing. I know it's fast. But do you have any questions? If you don't have any questions, comments? Yeah.
With this whole changing system and everything, so we as human beings, where do we fit? What will be our duty as people? Will be just sitting and being fed? What's going to happen?
So, let me answer that question for you. There's a very nice analogy. It says, in the old days, if you wanted to verify who you were, we put your thumbprint. Remember? Put a thumbprint on a document. Then we went to technology and we put a pin. So we didn't have to use your thumbprint any longer. We got rid of your thumbprint, we used technology. Now technology requires you to put your thumbprint on it. Right? When you go to the bank, they tell you put your thumbprint. So we went through the whole process of going from a thumbprint to technology to going back to a thumbprint. And in that over there is the answer to your question. With all the technology that's taking place, with all this disruption that's taking place, what is going to happen to humans? So don't feel scared about this. Don't feel bad about it. Don't worry, because it's going to make life a lot easier. Now you don't have to spend time doing all these menial tasks that you had to do before. Technology will do it for you. You will have more time to spend with your family and live longer. So in the future, what's going to happen is we're going to return, my prediction, is that we're going to return to a village-style lifestyle. We will all live in a village instead of living in these big cities. Technology will take care of everything for us, and we'll go back into a village lifestyle. When I say a village lifestyle, I don't mean we'll all go out into the farms, but we could be in this area and still living in a village lifestyle. We will start making stuff. So, my computer needs to be repaired. Huzaifa will be the guy that will come and repair my computer for me. Someone needs to make shoes. I'll start making shoes. Someone will need to repair that driverless car, because there's no driver on it anymore, change the brakes on it, still need to do that. So we'll start doing these tasks, and we will start trading with each other. There'll be more people that will be growing food stuff than ever before. Because we've got time, we'll return to what we used to do many, many years ago, where we farmed our own little food, we cooked our own little things, and we'll have more time to start making things. And we'll make more and more things. So technology is not going to wipe us out. Artificial intelligence will not replace us. All that this fourth industrial revolution and this technology is going to do is take over those menial tasks from us. So when I put up there, so let me end with this here. When I put up there the professions like the doctors and the accountants and the lawyers are going to be at risk, it's because technology will replace the menial task of the doctor. So your GP that normally you go to because you've got a little sniffle, he spends an hour with the patient, only to find out that that patient needed N.Ali. Technology will be able to detect that that patient is not sick, all they require is an N.Ali. That doctor will then have more time to place onto more serious cases and to start researching and finding different ways of curing diseases. The accountant will still need to be there because it's his mind that is going to tell the computer what to do. The lawyer is still going to be there because laws will change. And we know every day laws are changing. Laws are changing because technology is changing. So we have to adapt our laws to keep in touch with the technology. Who's going to change those laws? Not the computer, lawyers. Man has designed these laws, not computers. The law that says that you have to wear a seatbelt came from man, wasn't it? We'll design those laws. Computers will make it easier for us to implement it.
What I understand is you can still go for those traditional professions, but also have IT coding together.
So when you are starting to look at any profession, we're now finding that professions are starting to collaborate with each other. So my nephew wants to be a biomedical engineer. Biomedical engineer. His father is a doctor. His father asks him, what is a biomedical engineer? What's a biomedical engineer? So doctor was an engineer, right? Prosthetics. So now we are taking an engineering profession, we're merging it with a medical profession. So the ability to start merging information, professions, the kind of systems that we have is what is going to be required. And the most important characteristic for you, for all of us, is the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. So I've learned things many years ago. I had to unlearn those things, unlearn those systems, and relearn new systems. And I have to continuously do that. Every one of us has to continuously do that. We have to keep changing, keep evolving, keep adapting to what's happening around us. So when we have WhatsApp, we can't sit back and use a cell phone that only sends SMS because we'll be communicating with 10 people. The other 90 people are using WhatsApp. Today people are using what to do for business? What's the biggest tool that people are using for business?
Social media.
LinkedIn? Someone else heard?
Instagram.
Instagram. Correct. If you want to open up a shop that was selling hats, men's topies, in the old days, you had to go and find a shop, buy the topies, put them in there, open the shop at 8 o'clock in the morning, advertise in the newspaper, and hope a customer comes to you. Today, you don't need to do that. In 5 minutes, you're selling to the whole world. Put a picture of the topi on Instagram and say, available from me, free delivery, WhatsApp me right now. Right? Doesn't it make life easier? So all that we've done is we've taken the selling of topies, which is one profession, put technology into it, married the two, voila, human beings are very resilient. We know how to change, we know how to adapt. So if I use an example, in the 1900s, we had a horse and carriage. You had a driver on the carriage, and you sat in the back of the carriage. And you had a footman that stood at the back of the carriage, right? When the car came along, everyone said, what's going to happen to all these carriage drivers? They'll be out of a job. What happened to the carriage drivers? They became the car drivers. What happened to the blacksmith? He became the mechanic. Right? We adapted. We changed. So those drivers are going to do what? Those that are coming out of those jobs. Remember, the driverless car is not going to be able to fill petrol by itself. It might be electrical. It won't be able to charge itself. Someone's going to have to plug the charger in. That driverless car won't be able to change its brakes. Someone's going to have to change the brakes. So because technology is going to make cars more affordable, there'll be more driverless cars around, there'll be more people needed to maintain those cars. So you have to, that driver is going to have to learn to become a mechanic. That driver is going to have to learn to become a technician, computer technician, that can sort out the computer, the driverless computer. He needs to become the programmer. He needs to become the coder. So all that's going to happen is that whatever professions people are in, those professions have been disrupted by technology. They have two choices. They can either forget about life, or they can change. And the best thing to do is change. You had a question. I hope that answers your question.
As we know that when technology is produced, it increases our carbon footprint. So the more that of carbon dioxide is produced, and when the UV rays strike it, it damages the ozone layer. So don't you think this is going to affect the ozone layer more?
True. One of the side effects of Bitcoin has been mining. Cost implication of power usage on mining Bitcoins has outweighed the value of the Bitcoin itself. So some might say Bitcoin is the currency of the future, but the impact on the environment, because using up all this electricity, is contrary to what the ethos of blockchain is. You are right, but we would have to find new ways of doing it. And the new ways are already there. So for instance, 2 years ago, in 2019, in 2017, Germany paid every one of its citizens to use electricity. You know, here we pay ESCOM, and now and then they switch our lights off, right? In Germany, the government paid every citizen to use electricity. They gave them free electricity, use our electricity, and we'll pay you for using it. Imagine that. Because they had too much of electricity in the system. And that surplus of electricity came from not coal burning fossil fuel, but from green technology. So that green technology that lowers your carbon emissions is there already. There's a new nuclear reactor that has been built in Denmark at the moment. That nuclear reactor is half the size of the Coburg reactor. Coburg reactor is in South Africa. Half the size of the Coburg reactor. But the efficiency of that nuclear reactor will be able to supply electricity, clean nuclear electricity, to the whole of Western Europe. One reactor. Electricity will become cheap. In fact, it will be free. So the technology is there already. Questions? I have one question. When I asked, yeah, please.
Last month I heard that one guy in Zimbabwe, he has created a car which uses waves,
Yep.
like radio waves. So you don't have to put in petrol or oil or anything, it just goes as the radio. And it's been approved, even people started to put orders for it.
Tesla's building an electrical car. What is Tesla building? Okay. Is he building a car? Does Tesla build cars? What does he build? Tesla doesn't build cars, he builds batteries. He's building a car in which to put his battery into. But he builds batteries. The Tesla walls, an entire battery on a wall, right? You can take a Tesla battery and put it into any vehicle. But Tesla is now building a car that will fit his battery. He's not building a battery that will fit to the car. He builds batteries. That's his technology, the battery. So as we're finding new ways of using technology, as we discover new technology, that technology allows us to invent new things. It allows us to find new ways. So do you know exactly what you're talking about, using radio waves on a vehicle? Been there before? Many of you might not know this, but you know the railway lines that we had? Those railway lines were not just carrying trains on them. Those railway lines, Transnet had its own telephone system on the railway line. Transnet had a telephone network on its railway line. So wherever its railway line ran, it had its own network. It would not use Telcom's network. Many years ago, we bid to buy the network because they were looking to sell it off. In rural areas where there was no telephones, because government wanted to have every village connected up with a telephone, we were looking to buy that network from Transnet. That time it was called SA Railways, South African Railways. To buy that network from them so that we could connect up those rural villages wherever there was a train line using that network. So we didn't have to have Telcom bringing cable across because they wouldn't want to do it because there was a usage. That same railway line now carries a fiber network on it.
Where exactly on the railway? In the railway line?
So that telephone line that they had was in the railway lines itself. Right? Now the fiber network is running on the overheads. Technology has come about. This is where it's fascinating. Right now, when you want to charge your phone or you want to connect up to a Wi-Fi network, you want to charge your phone, you go to a plug point, you plug the charger into your phone, right? We've seen wireless chargers. With your wireless charger, you're going to take your phone and place it into a wireless charger. The technology now exists where when you walk into the room, the lights that are there will automatically charge your phone. You don't need to connect to it. Doesn't matter what phone you have. And Wi-Fi signal comes out of the light. Using light waves. It's there already. Lots new stuff. It's there already. They're using it. There are laboratories in Germany that are already using it. Once they tried it, it will become mass available. So the same lights that you have here will serve multiple purposes.
Do those light waves have any effects on your health and stuff?
I don't know. It's like, do cell phones have an effect on your health? Do radio waves have an effect on your health? Do microwaves have an effect on your health? I can't tell you conclusively.
You need doctors to investigate that.
You need doctors to investigate that.
Okay, I think we almost have thank you. Hey. This was mind-blowing, isn't it so? Stuff that many of us didn't know what's happening around us. The world's moving so fast, and if we are not keeping up with it, we're going to get left behind. Right, so even regarding the professions, you saw some of the professions that Mr. Patel put up there. There's going to be 9 professions, and a whole host of other professions also we'll be discussing after the lunch break. But Grant, Jazakallah again, making yourself available, sharing your expertise. As I mentioned before, lots of people talk about the fourth industrial revolution from research that they've done. Here we've got research and someone who's actually practically implemented it. So we've got both. Now, all of you have got these notes. These notes are in your file. Here's Brother Ibrahim's contact details. If you need to contact him, I'm sure he'll be only too happy to respond to you if you need any queries or anything. Then from our side, just a small token of appreciation.
Who is the lover? Allah. Who is Ar-Rahman? Allah. Who is Al-Mannan? La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger, to Allah is our return. La ilaha